Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. With prayer. So I invite you to, if you feel comfortable closing your eyes or however you feel best serves you in connecting with Spirit, tune into that space. So we are so grateful. We are gathering with grateful hearts. We gather in this sacred moment, thankful for the gift of community, for the presence of God among us. We recognize there is one infinite presence, one divine love, always expressing in, through, and as all life. And this love is us, is who we are. We are created to receive it, to embody it, and to share it freely. And so today we are opening our hearts a little wider. We are allowing love to become our words, our actions, our way of being. And as we begin the morning, we bless Reverend Savannah and Mooney Star Music and Sonia and all the live streamers and this entire service. We just surround the space in love, knowing that Spirit flows through every message here, every word, every song. And we are so grateful, with gratitude for the blessings that are already unfolding in each and every one of our lives. We let this prayer be in love, as love, and for love. And so it is. Amen. Ashe. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Good morning, beautiful beings. I see you tuning in here on the live stream. Thank you for joining in with us. If it is your first time, my name is Amy Van Ling, and I'm the spiritual director here at Unity Inspired Living. And I'm so grateful that our paths are crossing today. Whether it is the first time or the 500th time, I am so thrilled to be here with you. And we love that you're joining us, whether it is right now live streaming on Sunday morning or later in the week. Thank you for making the time for yourself to tune in. You know, we live in this world that is constantly pulling our attention in, 523 different directions, sometimes at the same time. And so one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves is the gift of intentional pause, intentional community, a place where we can take that rest to reflect, to ask the deeper questions, to remember what truly matters. So spaces like this are vital to our mental, our emotional, our spiritual health. So you can give yourself a pat on the back for tuning in this morning. My hope is that each Sunday you leave here feeling a little more connected to yourself, to Spirit, to one another, and to the presence that just is always part of you, part of your being, and what is unfolding in you, around you, through you. So thank you for allowing us to be part of your spiritual journey. We're so grateful. And so this month we are talking about love. And every time I keep thinking about it, I keep hearing the song, "Let's talk about love, baby." So we're talking about love. And as I'm thinking about just the word love, I'm like, love has become like one of the most misunderstood words, I think, because in our language, because we love our favorite restaurant. We love our children. We love the sunset. We love that car. We love our friends. We love the flowers. We love that movie. So it's like one small word just trying to embody or carry this like enormous meaning, mystery, and so this month when we're exploring what it means to love out loud, not as a feeling necessarily, or just words that we're saying, like I love the car, but as a way of how do we move through the world, because I think perhaps the question isn't who or what is it I'm loving. It's more about how does that love want to show up through me? How does it want to express through me in this moment, in all the moments? So
can look all different ways. And I really, even though our theme is, love out loud, I don't think loving out loud is about being louder. It's just about being more visible. And how do we do that? And how do we show up in love with our words and our choices and our presence? And so I think that brings us beautifully to today's message. Reverend Savannah Novell is here to invite us to explore one of the ways that love often can become hidden beneath responsibility, the weight of everything. And so the talk today that she's bringing to us is You Are Not the Glue, Over Functioning, and the Art of Surrender. So she is going to take us on a journey about maybe everything that we think we have to hold together, we don't, and inviting us into this freedom. I imagine that word is that's coming out for me in trusting life. So it is my joy, my delight to welcome Reverend Savannah with us today. She has a beautiful, exquisite gift for speaking to the places where spirituality and everyday life intersect, and how that merges and meets. And her messages are thoughtful and honest and authentic and compassionate and deeply relatable. That's what's coming up right now. Deeply relatable to life. So she invites us into greater trust and freedom and love. So today we are exploring this overfunctioning. And I know we've talked about this in our community before, so I know a lot of people are gonna be like, I like this topic. I definitely do. So please join me in the warm welcome for having Reverend Savannah Novell back with us. We are so thankful for your presence, dear one. Thank you for your sacred yes to us. And you will also see on our screen, we are so delighted to welcome back Mooney Star Music. He is, he carries a warmth that helps us ground. Every time he's with us, I'm like, I just feel so grounded, and I'm slowing down, settling into my heart with his music. And his songs are so reflective, inviting us into just that deep connection with presence. And so thank you, Mooney, for sharing your beautiful gifts with us and our whole community this morning. We're thankful for your sacred yes to be here. And you will see our very familiar face on the screen with us, Sonia, dear member of our community and such a bright light and one of our newest readers. So we're so grateful for that. And we're grateful to have you here, Sonia, this morning, sharing our inspirational reading and guide us through our prosperity and practice. And we have been doing Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. So that's been exciting. So thank you for helping us begin the morning and set the tone for us today. So as I like to do on Sunday morning, I like to just affirm the path we're on, the ideals that continue to shape who we are at Unity Inspired Living. And that is through our mission statement. And our mission here is fostering love and wisdom, inspiring transformation, offering compassion and outreach, and embracing unity. And I am so grateful that we get to be on this path together, co-creating. So I'm going to hand the screen over to Mooney Star Music now, and he has our opening sing-along community song. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll start it nice and slow, just get my sweet love, my love. I really wanna see you. I really wanna be with you. I really wanna see love, but it gets so long, my love. Ooh, my love, my sweet Lord. Ooh, my Lord. I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna see you, Lord. It is so long, my Lord. Ooh, my Lord, my sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. Ooh, my Lord. Hey, hey, hey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. I was not expecting that, and I am so thrilled with that song. I love
Thank
it. Thank you. I love that about you. We're not sure what the song's going to be, and it's always perfect. So, thank you for bringing that expression of love so deeply to our hearts. I'm grateful. Okay, I'm going to hand the screen over to Sonia, and she has our inspirational reading for this morning.
Thank you, Amy, and thanks, Mooney. My joy grows as I share it. Joy is always part of me. I feel it deeply in times of peace and serenity, when my heart feels full of love, and when my life feels in balance and perfect harmony. The best way to feel my joy even more strongly is to share it. Simply smiling may inspire others to respond in kind. Considered actions, such as holding doors for those behind me or letting someone go ahead of me in a long line, are small actions that can have a lasting impact. It is an invisible invitation for others to do the same. Throughout the day, I will focus my attention on the love and joy in my heart as I send silent blessings to others. As I commit to being the presence of gladness, my joy will grow, touching and inspiring others to share their own. From Ecclesiastes 9:7. Go, eat your bread with enjoyment, and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has long approved what you do.
Thank you, beloved. We're so grateful. Just switch back. Let me check. Yes, it did. Sorry, I didn't know what Zoom was doing. That was beautiful. We're grateful for you. I'm going to hand the screen back over to Mooney for another song this morning.
Believers, keep on believing. And preachers, don't stop preaching. Sleepers, just stop sleeping, 'cause it won't be too long. I'm so darn glad he let me try it again. My last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so darn glad I know more I did then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. No one's gonna bring me down. Till I reach my highest ground. Yeah. Ooh. No one's gonna bring me down. Till I reach my highest ground. My highest ground. Oh, my highest ground. ground, yeah, yeah. My highest ground. Hey. Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's loving out loud, reaching your highest ground. We're holding that openness. Whew. Thank you. That was fantastic. Okay, we're going to hand the screen back over to Sonia. She has our prosperity in practice. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you. As Amy mentioned, we again return to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, remembering that thoughts repeated with feeling begin shaping consciousness. And today we explore the creative power of autosuggestion. The prosperity principle: repeated thought impresses the subconscious mind. Prosperity in practice: Hill believed the subconscious mind responds to repeated suggestion, especially when emotion is attached to a thought. What we continually say inward becomes familiar territory for the mind. This is why spiritual affirmations matter, not because we are pretending, but because we are redirecting consciousness. This week, really notice your internal dialogue. Choose one life-giving statement and repeat it consistently. I am guided. I am supported. Divine order unfolds through me. The mind responds to what it hears most often, and so it is.
I love that. Thank you, because we know that, right? We're like, yeah, we know that. And yet sometimes we have to remind ourselves, I am guided, I am supported, I can love out loud all the time, and not get caught up in the fray of everything else. So thank you, Sonia, for that reminder. We're grateful. So we're going to settle that into our heart and take that into our next song, our final song this morning. Thank you, Mooney.
All right. Everybody's going to know this one, so sing along. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning smiling with the rising sun. 3 little birds was on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of glory, pure and true. Everybody singing, this is a message to you. I'm saying don't worry about a thing. Oh, no you don't, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, don't worry about a thing. You hear me? So every little thing is gonna be alright. Alright, everybody. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. One more time. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be all right.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I'm sorry, everybody knows that song is.
Yes, and there's something so sweet about that, when you know a song, because you can embody it and really feel. You're not thinking so much about the words. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For reminding us through your music that love is always accessible, and when we don't worry, it becomes even more accessible.
That's true.
So thank you for those reminders and being with us and setting the stage for us this morning. And Sonia, thank you so much for bringing your energy and your spirit here and cultivating this space as well. So we're grateful for both of you and kicking us off so we can move into Savannah's message. We are so joy filled because of you. Thank you for being with us this morning. We will see you on the live stream side of the morning. Love you both so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody, we see you here. I see all the comments and Luwinda and Michael J. and hi, Mom and Nancy and Pat. And we're so grateful that you are here with us. And I am so excited for Savannah's talk today. If you're somebody who's ever felt responsible for anyone else's happiness or life or believe that you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders and everything depends on you, I think today's message is exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. So I am truly thrilled to welcome Reverend Savannah Noel as she shares, "You are not the glue, overfunctioning and the art of surrender." Thank you, beloved.
Thank you, Amy. Okay, well, let's dive into it. You are not the glue. Well, many of you know, if you've listened to my talks over the years, that I'm really passionate about helping people thrive in their relationships. And as of late, my work has primarily been about supporting women in not abandoning themselves and who they are. And I think obviously this speaks to everybody. And I care about relational dynamics because our relationships to ourselves is one of the most important elements to building healthy relationships with other people and the reality around us. And so today's talk is a little bit different. And Amy alluded to this earlier that hopefully I think this community is open to this conversation. Obviously, because it has to do with boundaries. And I've done a lot of boundary work within this community. And it's different in that I'm speaking of something that I think we can all relate to in some way, and that the spiritual path often brings with it the suggestion and the ideas and the principles of non-attachment, of freedom, of discord, how well we trust life and surrendering to what we can't control and what we can't change. And in our coping of everyday life, I find that this behavior that I want to talk about today is it's one of the quiet, depleting coping mechanisms that keeps self-abandonment intact. And it keeps us in this urgent state of needing to fill the spaces, to fill the void, to not just let life happen and to let ourselves process the things that are happening. And so I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to tell you what it, I mean, you already know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you what it fully is yet, because I want to start with a question that you can answer to yourself. And this question is, who in your life would fall apart if you stopped doing so much? Who in your life would fall apart if you stopped doing so much? It could be a partner for some of you. For some of you, it could be a parent, a friend that you've been rescuing for years. It could be a team at work that you are the one who does all the work. You do every bit of it is you upholding the team. Or it could be an entire family would fall apart. I mean, all of those busy moms, all of those busy people pleasers. And for a lot of us, and you know who you are in the spiritual community and a church community, you're that person, when we meet in person, who is always setting up the chairs, which we need those people, but you're the one who's doing everything. You notice when the coffee's running low, you are just doing it all, right? And you're the one who holds everything together. Now, obviously, for spiritual communities and community, we need people in service to exist, right? To operate. But I want to describe to you what many of us can relate to, and you can nod to yourself if you resonate with any of this. You're the one who remembers everything. You remember your schedule. You remember their schedule. You know when their appointment is because they mentioned it to you like one time weeks ago in passing. You're the one who will reach out first when someone is too quiet on the other side. Let's say isn't responding to your text messages. You're the one who reads the room. You read the mood of everyone in like half a second, and then you adjust yourself to see, well, how am I going to fit into this room? If plans fall through, you're already explaining why and justifying why just to make it okay. And this one's a big one. You're exhausted, but you don't know why. You can't really explain why because it doesn't feel like you're really doing all that much. And so I said just a moment ago that this is one of the quietest ways that we abandon ourselves. And it's something that is so deceiving and it is confusing because it looks like we're being capable, we're being helpful, we're being supportive. And everyone in your life is invested in you continuing to do it. And it's called overfunctioning. Overfunctioning is when you think or do or feel something for another person that is theirs to carry. It is their responsibility. And I'm telling you, once you see this, you can't unsee it. It's like you will see it in all aspects of your life. When you stop being able to tell where you end and someone else begins, this is like known as enmeshment or boundary stuff. You start carrying other people's weight around. You think too much about what they're feeling. You do too much of what they could do for themselves. You feel things. If you're, I mean, all of us empaths out there, you feel things on their behalf that they aren't even feeling. And then you build this story and this narrative about what it means. And the reason why I think this is really difficult to catch sometimes is because it doesn't feel like it's a problem. It feels like love. It feels like being helpful. It feels like, oh, I'm being useful. It feels like the thing that makes you the good one, the good person, the easy one, the one who has everything together. But here's the difference in service and helping. Helping is something that is offered and received. It is the reciprocity, right? And the overfunctioning is often this thing that was not invited. It is compulsive because if you cannot not do it, then it's not really generosity. So the fascinating thing about overfunctioning is that it creates this seesaw dynamic. So there's two ends of the spectrum here. There's overfunctioning and there's underfunctioning, and those things create each other. So the more you carry, the less the other person has to. And this shows up in our relationships, in our workplace. It shows up in our spiritual communities. And even deeper, it shows up in our ability to trust life and to allow goodness to flow and to have ease and to surrender to be a part of our daily lives. So the more you're reaching, the more you're needing, the more they get to just sit back and have you reach out for them. And the more you manage the micromanaging and remember and you make it easy for them and you smooth it over, the more room that you make for them to not have to do it. And so you think that you're carrying everything because they won't step up. But I think, and that could be true, but I think it's worth asking honestly, are they not stepping up because of who they are? Or are they not stepping up because you've never once left the space empty long enough for them to step into it because you keep filling it every single time? So the question is, why do we do it? And I think this is where it gets a little spiritual because somewhere along the way, for many of us, being useful has been tied to our sense of self-worth. And I mean, I relate to this in a really big way because somewhere, probably very early, probably in a home where being helpful was how you earned your spot, right? It's how you earned love. You might have learned that love is this thing that you have to perform or that you earn. And you learned that your seat at the table has to be justified. And the way you do that is by being helpful, by doing too much. And you were valuable because of what you were performing. And this is where we get into the boundary stuff around perfectionism and people pleasing and codependency. And what's interesting is we say in our New Thought classes and circles all the time that we are whole, that we are perfect, that we are complete, and that there's nothing missing within us. And then we leave the church service and we go right back to needing to perform. We go right back to those behaviors. We go right back to proving it, right back to carrying 3 people's lives so that we won't be abandoned, so that we can belong. And obviously, this isn't like a conscious behavior most of the time, because you cannot believe that you are inherently worthy and also believe that you have to be useful to be kept. They contradict each other. And so I could just tell you, as many have done in years past, that you just need to let go, that you just need to surrender. You just need to trust and have faith. But I think the piece that's missing and the part that I'm so interested in and that we're working with is something deeper here. We're working with somatics, we're working with nervous system dysregulation, we're working with trauma and protective behaviors, the ways that we learn to get our needs met. We're not just working with just mind alone. And so, what's actually driving this behavior isn't about the other person. So, if we think about our lives being uncertain, which most of them are, when something feels uncertain, when someone that you love stops speaking to you, or they go quiet, or they come home in a mood, or maybe they pull back a little bit, and all of a sudden you get this sense of anxiety, like, what did I do? And instead of sitting in it and sitting in the void, that awful, crowded, that icky feeling, we have to discharge it. We have to do something. We have to fix it. We have to plan. We reach out. We want connection. We over-explain. We have to make it nice again. This is all nervous system stuff because the fixing is self-soothing. The doing this is self-soothing. So when you rush in to manage somebody's mood, which we would call codependency, you're not taking care of them. You are taking care of your own nervous system, which our nervous system is here as it's like the greatest love of our lives, I believe, because it's here to protect us and it always wants our best interest, in mind. But the thing is we trained ourselves through this to handle other people's lives. And this is why I think when we look at this teaching, the power of the mind, we also have to add into that somatic work. This is why somatic work, breath work, meditation, they are so essential. And this is the piece of the spirituality that I think we need to stress more. And it's parts work. If you've ever heard of internal family systems, it's your body working with the parts of yourself that experience trauma, right? Because the body, we know, holds on to that. Your body already knows this. Like right now, you can tell if your jaw is tight. You can tell if your shoulders are like living up around your ears. And I know this one, the fact that you can't rest, that you can't actually rest while there's anything unresolved between you and another person, that is your nervous system. So when we think about creating the life that we desire, like having good health and the relationships that we want, it is difficult to create in survival and in dysregulation. And this is why not only do we prepare the mind and we prepare the table constantly, we work with the nervous system and regulation, looking at our trauma. Positive thinking alone does not address this. So years ago, I met a man up in Canada because I live in Seattle, so it's 2 hours north, and we dated for about 4 months. And then those 4 months turned into 3.5 years of something I really, I could have had many names for, but I didn't know what to name it at the time. He was going through a divorce. He has kids. He has a very busy job. And I decided, without ever really saying it out loud, that I was going to carry this connection for the both of us. And obviously, I didn't know this in the moment because, reflection and retrospect, right? But I thought, oh, I could just stay with the potential, with the hope that maybe one day he will want to be in this relationship fully. So I would shape my life around him from a different country. I would plan my visits around his availability. And when I'd get there, he would tell me, oh, I only have 30 minutes. Like he has this other thing that he had to do. Oh, well, I have the kids. And every time I would explain it away for him. I would explain and justify, oh, well, he's busy, or it's the divorce, or it's just the phase of life that he's in. And so I became what you could call the project manager of the relationship. And it wasn't even an official relationship. I mean, we were friends, but I was always kept in this limbo space, this non-commitment, no real clarity other than I know this person is not available. And I told myself this whole time that if I just keep showing up, if I just make it easy enough, if I just take the breadcrumbs and the lowest hanging fruit that he gives me, if I didn't need too much, then eventually he will match this behavior. And then one day he sat me down and said, I met someone and they'd been dating for 4 months. And he spent hours telling me about her. And I sat there and listened because of course I did, because listening was my job. And somewhere in the middle of that conversation, I I noticed, as our nervous system does, I noticed the anxiety. I noticed the tightness in my throat. I noticed I felt sick to my stomach. And I realized, oh my gosh, I have been carrying this connection alone for so many years. It wasn't a relationship, it was potential. It was something that was, I mean, you could say it was on life support. And I was the machine keeping it going. I was the breathing machine. And nobody asked me to do that, right? So we have this life, we have this one life, and it's really an opportunity to ask ourselves, where am I out of alignment with what I say I want and what I want to show up, right? What isn't yours to carry? The friend that you cannot tell the truth to, the job that you are stuck in, the relationship that is not giving you what you need and you want, and then you're staying too long in it. Or maybe the story's too old. We all have the friend that has the story that we've heard over and over and over, right? It's too old. And the cost is so immense. The cost, let's get to that. The cost is your body. The cost is burnout. It costs your relationships. And here's the loop that we get in. We overgive. We do more than anybody asked us to do. I mean, you could raise your hand, all those busy moms out there, right? You do more than anyone asked you to do because that's how you love and that's how you stay safe. And then you wait to be seen for it and to be validated for it. And then you're not in the way that you want because half of what you did, they didn't even ask for and they don't even know it happened, right? So then this resentment builds within us. And what do you do with resentment? You do more. You give harder. And it's that thing of like, well, surely if I do enough, they'll finally notice me. They'll finally reach back out to me. They'll finally choose me in a way that I keep choosing them. And it never happens. And the reason is you never said that need out loud. You performed for their love. And if you did say the need out loud, but the behavior never changed, then why do we stay? So it's showing people how to be loved instead of telling them how you needed to be loved. I heard this quote not long ago about resentment, and I love it. It says that resentment is the tax you pay on every need you never said out loud, because that resentment builds, right? The other piece of this that I find fascinating is that if you're not the overfunctioner, many times you might find yourself as the underfunctioner. And the thing is not only does it cost us as overfunctioners, but it costs them. Because every time you catch that ball, every time you fill the space before it drops, then you take away the exact lesson that it could have taught. You spare them every consequence that would have allowed that person to grow. And you think you're helping, right? You are keeping them small in reality. And there's already this power at work in that person's life, the same power at work in my life, in your life. And it was there before I even arrived there, right? And so nobody in all of these years of carrying then ever gets to really meet you. And I think that was the shame that I learned from that last relationship, was that he never really got to know me. He never really met me because he met my usefulness. He met the manager of the relationship. And so the actual you, the one that has needs and moods and limits and boundaries and this whole inner life, I was just running the production the whole time, wondering, well, why doesn't he know me? And it was performative. And so the deeper layer of this, which I think obviously is the part that we work with the most in our spiritual life, is when we are overfunctioning with life itself. We look at how some of us pray. We look at how we do a treatment. We come into the silence. We sit in prayer. We say the words. And then we leave our house and we pick the problem and the situation right back up, right? Because deep down, there's a part of us that doesn't trust that anything is going to catch us if we actually were to let go of it. And we call ourselves responsible and accountable. I am the capable one, the one who holds everything together. But underneath that, doing this is this refusal to trust that anything will hold us if we stop. And what if you did? Like, what if you did trust? What if you did surrender? And so I was thinking about this in terms of the universe, in terms of existence, in terms of Well, how am I overfunctioning with life itself? I'm overfunctioning in my relationships. Well, how does that look in a universal sense? The way it looks is that we then believe that not only do I have to earn love from people, but I have to earn it from the cosmos, from the universe. And somewhere along the way, life became one more under functioning partner, right? And so if I don't handle everything, then my whole life will fall apart. And so what do we do with that? What do we do with that? We get so busy trying to hold our lives together that life doesn't really have this chance to show us like how to hold us. I mean, there are type A people out there who, and you know who you are, who have to do everything, right? It's like sitting in the void and the space of discomfort is very difficult. So it's not just me saying, well, stop doing so much, because your protective parts are going to fight that. And of course, you can't just stop it. Like, we're human. But somewhere inside of you, you believe that if you put this weight down, then there would be no meaning. You might be invaluable. You might be unworthy. You might completely disappear. And so, one of the things that I'm practicing and I offer to you is to pick one thing that isn't yours, one thing, and set it down. One thing that you've been thinking or doing or feeling on someone else's behalf. And it could be maybe the mood that you keep taking on that's someone else's. Or maybe you're always the one has to reach back out when someone goes silent. Maybe you just put it down. Maybe you don't pick it back up. And then this is the actual work, which I think most people have the hardest time with, which is standing in and being in the space that leaves. It's sitting in the discomfort. It's sitting in the void because the anxiety is going to be there. There's this urge to be like, oh, but I have to fix that. What if my entire project falls apart at work, right? It's this urge, it's urgency. It feels like an emergency almost, but it's not. It's staying in the discomfort and asking different questions to ourselves so that we can build capacity. And those questions are, what is mine to carry? Or what isn't mine to carry? What would it look like to help myself and to take care of myself? And what line in the sand do I need to draw for myself to honor my own needs? And what feeling within me am I avoiding and not speaking up about? Or what is the thing that I'm going to stop doing? I'm reminded of a scenario that I think we're all familiar with because I know I am, like being in grade school when you were asked to do a project with three other people. And I always dreaded it because I wanted the A in the group, right? And there's always one. There's always the perfectionist, right? They have to take on the entire group project. And then guess what happens? This person, like me, decides, well, I got to do the whole project. Because if I don't do the whole project, no, it's never going to get done. I can't rely on all these people. So then the dynamic that is created is everybody else in the group underfunctions, right? They don't have to do anything. They get the free grade while you're the one who's being the perfectionist, while you're the one who's over functioning, right? Everyone else then under functions, and we teach people how to do this. So then what do we do with that? Well, some things will have to fall apart. Some things will have to wobble. And the wobble means that you allow the space for someone else to finally pick that up that was actually theirs to do. And you might not get the best grade, and the discomfort may still be there because you think that, oh my gosh, like maybe my boundary isn't working. Maybe my boundary is failing. I'm not going to do everything for everyone. But what I think it really is you getting really good at honoring your own needs and asking for what you need. So then the way out of this is that when you have a need, you say it. So it's not some sort of performative love. It's saying things like, I need help with this, or I can't take that on right now, or I need you to call them back, right? So, and it's this practice, right? On the small things, letting somebody be disappointed in us, letting somebody be upset with us because I'm sorry, but I can't do that right now. So we don't try to fix it. We don't tolerate it. We don't rush in, right? And the cool thing about this, and this is why I love somatic work so much and I love boundary work so much, is that every time you survive that, every time you set a boundary, every time you speak a need, every time you stand for yourself, you create what's called, when you get to the other side, a disconfirming experience. So then your body starts to learn, oh, it's safe to ask for my needs to be met. This person might not meet them, but it's safe for me to be in my own um, space. It's safe for me to be in my body. I don't have to earn love. I don't have to perform it. I don't have to manage everyone else's feelings to keep their love, right? And it's the same with faith. It's the same with spiritual practice. The more that we do it and the more we see, oh, we always tell students, you should try out this spiritual practice. You should try out the spiritual principle and see how it works in your life. It's like an experiment, right? And then the more we see that, oh, that worked out. The universe always has my back. The universe and divine order pulled through. It always works for me. Then we learn to trust ourselves more. It's the same with somatic work. It's the same with disconfirming experiences. So then we get to remind ourselves that, oh, I'm actually not the glue. I'm not the glue. And that from a spiritual perspective, there's this wholeness at the center of this that was actually holding it all together, even though we were trying to micromanaging all of it. We know it keeps the planets in orbit without our input, and it grows every tree on the planet without any single reminder. And it's at work right now in our lives. And I think that the challenging part is us really allowing the space for it to show up for us, right? And so this week, I want you to try to find your one thing. What is the one thing that you need to set down? What is that? And then stand in the space that it leaves and breathe and watch, because our lives keep going, right? And that's the good news, because I think that's what surrender actually is. It's not giving up. It's letting something greater hold it all together. And so it's setting down what was never ours and finding out, maybe for the first time in a long time, that we were actually being held the whole time. And I think that that's the work. So I will leave you with that. And we let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, beloved Savannah. We are so grateful for you and this message, and the freeing reminder that surrender is not giving up, and it is giving over. It is letting, you just said, letting something greater hold it. And we know this, right? Because I know this community. We've read all the books, we've done all the workshops. So we can recite this, we can regurgitate this message. And yet it's like, are you living the truth? I'm not the glue. And I just love some of the pieces you brought here, like, well, first of all, loving out loud. What I'm hearing is loving out loud means trusting life. Trusting that life can carry far more than we can. Somewhere along the way, we get the little memo that, like, it's all on us.
Mhm.
I'm the only one. I'm so special. I'm the one that has to hold it all together, right? And I love that you kind of concluded with the universe has your back. And if you continually affirm that and remind yourself of that experience that the universe has your back, the more you will notice that. And you said here, what did you say where I was like, oh my gosh, that's love out loud. Oh, so in all of this love out loud conversation so far, I have really honed in on, like, how do we show up? How is the love moving through us, like, outward? And in your message, I really tuned into the, how do we love ourselves out loud? And you said something, resentment is the tax. You said, you read this somewhere, the tax you pay on every need you never said out loud.
Mhm.
So perhaps loving out loud is speaking your truth, your needs out loud. And it's not the frame of reference I came into the theme this month with. And so thank you. Thank you for illuminating that part, because that is part of loving out loud. I mean, it's a huge part of loving out loud. I think a lot of us here are very much tuned in, and yourself included, especially we know you and your stories. You're so attuned to serving.
Yeah.
So attuned to loving out loud to everybody. It's like, oh wait, where do I love myself out loud? So so thank you, and reminding us that part of that is really trusting that there is something greater that can hold all of it, and we don't have to put all that pressure. So everybody, hello, let's check in. Pat says, great concept. It's all about me and how I think and feel, and not them. Pat says, I'm not the glue. Divine order and divine timing is the glue. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
That is cool. That is cool. Now, why is my feed frozen? Let me go back here because I want to make sure I'm getting in real time. Michael J says, thank you, beloved. This talk is on point for me. Thank you, God, expressing as real love. Amen. Dave is here. Welcome, Dave. We love to see you. Thank you, Mooney. Oops, forgot to hit send. I was like, that's out of order. I get it. Luinda says, great message this morning, Savannah. Wonderful reminders about taking care of myself and not having to do something for someone that feels uncomfortable. I feel like my feed froze, so I'm going to give it a little refresh here. Yes, I mean, this is a very important message that I would say revisiting on a regular basis, whether it's reflecting, every half a year or once a year, whenever you sort of do that big deep dive into usually like a New Year's thing we do, really dive into this. What was the last question? You said, what is the one thing
that I need to put down? Like what is not mine to carry? What is one thing I can put down? And it could be a thought that I keep obsessively thinking. It could be a behavior, could be something with someone else. Like I'm not going to take on someone else's mood. My day is not going to be determined by someone else's behavior. I mean,
yeah, it's not my responsibility, but a lot of us did learn as children how to really gauge the house or the family or yeah. So paying attention, am I still doing that? 20,
well,
30,
and also
40 years later.
One of the things I think so, as I was saying, is so powerful about looking at the seesaw of the over-functioning, under-functioning is that when we're doing so much, we don't allow the other person to actually show us what they're made of, if they are. We don't, same with the universe. We need to show our nervous system that disconfirming experiences exist, which means that we have to test it. And if you're always filling the space and the void and if you're never just sitting in the space and just being in it and being in the discomfort, you don't allow them to get the lessons maybe they need to get,
Right.
So it's lose
I love
lose.
you said, this is how you said it in your talk. We spare them every consequence that I don't know if you said the truth could provide, but showing up in your authenticity could provide. And I love that. Spare them the consequence, because there's so much, I know I'm thinking of something specific, but somebody could never have silence, always has to fill the space with talking about something. And sometimes I'm like, I need some quiet. But there's such an uncomfortableness for that person with silence. So they have to fill. And it's like, what is that? Just to ask, what is that discomfort in me, whatever it is, however that shows up, and ask those questions. Why do I need to do and fix and feel so much, hold all that emotion away? Your story is so profound, and thank you for sharing such a vulnerable situation. But I know it can resonate with a lot of people because so many people do this, right? It's like we're running after potential. We're holding the weight for everybody. And that's draining and exhausting after a
Yeah.
while. Kathy says, great message. We can actually make others feel inadequate and untrusted by carrying things that are theirs to handle. So it's about loving them too. Yes.
Mhm.
Good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
because in a way it's like, oh, you're not capable. I have to do it all because
Well,
I don't trust you.
yeah, well, and I
Same one.
also think that we're not comfortable as a culture with people being disappointed in us. It's like if somebody's angry at me or disappointed in me, the natural tendency for most of us is to want to please and fix and make it right and da 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 da. But
Mhm.
sometimes that's, I don't think, the question or the thing that should be happening, right? It's
Right.
again sitting in discomfort and really doing some of our own work. Um, so that we
Yes.
show up, so that we don't show up in a performative way. Because many of us
Yes.
as children that we had to perform to get love.
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
then we do too much and we wonder why our relationships aren't functioning well because we're just doing too much.
Mhm.
And not just
Yeah.
in a romantic sense, it's everywhere. It's across the board. If you're an overworker, if you work too
Right.
much, same idea.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. And you mentioned parenting and it shows up in all different facets. And yeah, I liked how you said sitting in the void of discomfort. And when we are sitting in the void of discomfort, like say that person I'm talking about that cannot deal with silence, it fills every little moment with something chatter. The protective parts will begin to show up and fight this, like, say something, this is uncomfortable, right? Or whatever it is, do something. You need to perform, you need to act.
You're not safe.
Um,
Yeah.
you're not safe. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think this is a very potent conversation for Love Out Loud, our theme this month. And I'm so grateful for the insights and inspiration you have brought to us today. So we are going to close up this space. And before we do that, would you share with everybody how they can stay connected to you and learn about all the work that you're doing?
Yeah, so you can find me obviously on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I also have a podcast, the Savannah Noel podcast. It's on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. It's on all the things, Substack. And I'm doing one-on-one coaching. So all of that information is on my social stuff. You can find me everywhere. So yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we are so grateful for you being part of our community and saying yes to us and bringing your wisdom and your love and your experiences because it really uplifts our hearts so much. So thank you. Thank you. We are inviting everybody to move into the Zoom room with us for today's workshop. We're going to dive deeper into this discussion, which is going to be really eye-opening. And Dave, hi, Dave. Dave says the overdoer also cannot risk discovering that the other person might not be capable of doing their part. If I admit that is who they are, I might have to make a decision to no
Mhm.
longer participate, stay in that relationship.
That's right.
Yes. Wow. That's a
Yeah.
really big reflection and insight.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't want to face that, right? I mean, think about the story Savannah shared, 3 years, it's a long time to hold the emotional weight, but it's like, if I really look at the truth here, that might hurt. And, sometimes we want to avoid that discomfort that we talked about, sitting in that void of discomfort. And yeah, there really is a space often that is where we can find our freedom. And yet we have trepidation because it's uncomfortable and scary and we don't know what to do with it. So thank you, Savannah, for encouraging us
Yeah.
to step into that today. So I'm going to drop the link to the workshop here in the live stream chat. It's also on our homepage, unityinspiredliving.org. Just you'll see a picture of Savannah and Mooney Star Music, and then into the workshop is the link. And so thank you for being here. If today's message has encouraged your heart and opened up new insights and possibilities within you, we invite you to support our center through your giving. Your generosity makes it possible for Unity Inspired Living to continue offering these meaningful conversations and the inspiring music and the compassionate outreach that we are so grateful to be in the world sharing. So thank you for being part of our spiritual home. Thank you for growing with us and helping us ripple all of that out into the world, outward and onward. So thank you. Thank you. We are going to close with our prayer of protection. And I like to remind you that I speak this as a benediction, a blessing over you. May these words remind you that you're always held and guided and never alone. I think that's actually how Savannah ended her talk, is that we are never alone. We're always held. We are always held. So let's share screen. Yes. Zoom is going to listen. The prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects you. The presence of God watches over you. The mind of God guides you. The life of God flows through you. The laws of God direct you. The peace of God abides within you. The joy of God uplifts you. The strength of God renews you. The beauty of God inspires you. And wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Ashe. Thank you, beloveds, for being with us. And shine on, bright beings of love. Love you dearly. We will take about a 20-minute nourishment hydration break and come into the Zoom room. Savannah, do we need to bring anything?
No, just bring yourselves. Please
Okay.
come. It's going to be a great discussion and workshop.
Yes, I know it is going to be because Savannah is facilitating it. And that's all we need to know. Thank you, beloved. We are so grateful for you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.